what we were talking about before is, I believe in you and root cause because, we've been doing it this whole, life change for me. So that's why I believe in you. And again, it's just you holding back with the, the things that you're working on. And I saw a TikTok that said healers are constantly working on themselves. Like, no one's perfect. We all have our shit. But everyone's got life experiences and things that can just help you open and unlock. And obviously the certificate if you've done it. But it's just being your... Yeah, I do believe in you. And sometimes you do need that. And I know you don't always get that from Mum. No. But I know we want that sometimes from the people we love. But
I agree with that.
We're not always going to get it.
I feel like when I tell her things that I accomplished, it's like there is a hidden underlining want.
Yes. Wow, you've done so well, Nairi.
Can you acknowledge that for me?
Yeah,
What I mean? Whereas I don't get that acknowledgement, so it's like I have to keep acknowledging myself.
But you also know that you do give it to yourself, but it's because Mum hasn't, you want it from her, and she's your mum. Again, there's that attachment to, you're my mum, like, it's that old school proving to our parents, it is.
But like my brother says, is just remember,
oh shit.
Your worth isn't outside of you.
No.
You don't need it from someone outside of you.
No.
And I think he knows that with my mum. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
What is it? I've always been confused by my brothers.
Yeah.
My brothers did this and my brothers did that. And they were always good. They listened. They never gave me any trouble or any hassles. But you...
And only because she was probably in her also era of hurt. And, everything was hard. Not necessarily you, but just hard in herself. Oh, yeah. What she dealt with, you would want no one to go through, but...
No. I couldn't imagine.
No.
You think you can try and imagine it?
No.
Why would you want to imagine having...
loss.
The passing of 2 children?
No.
It's just like that.
No, thank you.
But I understand,
Yeah.
I heard that pain. How much that would be good for me. I hope that I can get over.
So I think it's really unlocking for you the confidence, and again, what I'm working on is the self-trust.
Yeah.
Self-trust.
It is self-trust, and I think too, once you start kind of being in the space of actually, having one person come to you and like, I've got this and I'm struggling with my own mind and thoughts and I've got shit that I'm holding on to. Hey, cool, let's unpack that.
You have the words, bub. When we talk off camera, fucking hell, bro. We flow and we flow and you talk with passion and love and like you're speaking to the world, you just have to own that. Yeah. Really.
When I get on a topic, I do like,
What'd you say? Oh, in a what? Yep, I'm there. Ego, huh?
We all have that,
Yeah.
But that is so true, and I acknowledge your insight on that for me, because sometimes I feel like we do need to hear that.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, with you being my kind of personal mentor, because you're my best friend and you know me better than fucking anyone in this world, to be honest.
Yeah. Vice versa.
It's like I need someone who's gonna give it to me straight.
But you also need to remember, I've experienced it, bub. You've been that for me. Do you forget that? How much root cause have we done? Like, fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have been living proof of it, and that's why I believe in it so much. And yeah, obviously we have a connection, so it's way easier for me with you, and you do have to build relations and stuff, but yeah, even though like you were doing this before I was, it's not that matters, but you helped me through that also while you were learning.
Well, I found something that helped me to really unravel.
Whoa. Look at that, mama.
Unravel my own stuff.
Yeah.
And it is really, truly. I don't know how to explain it.
It really is.
Part of it, and to know that you can, guide people through their journey.
So what were we saying earlier in the car? That we both had like tiny triggers, or whatever you want to call them, that have upset you or whatever. And we literally say to each other, oh, this is how I dealt with it. Really didn't, like if we look back 3 years ago, would have lost our fucking shit, been like, oh, I need 8 minutes. And a fucking meltdown. But now we can, wait or whatever, or, then come to the end of the week and have so much to fucking talk about.
Because now we've built, a new foundation of ourselves.
Yeah.
So the new foundation of you now is more stable.
Yeah.
It's more secured. It's more balanced because I've rebuilt myself.
Yeah.
And used really good, proper fucking
techniques and bridges. Tools to. But you still need a best friend, and you still need people to help you and guide you. We're all going to still have moments, but definitely.
You need people sometimes to reflect shit at you.
Yes, that too. That truth side. That, like, what was it the last time we spoke? It was about when I rang you, and like again, it's about me being strong, like you were saying about the anger when we're listening to that course, and I don't really have sort of an anger side, but I can get a bit uptight. But I don't have the anger. There's probably still scarcity in me to be like, really, I'm going to tell you, I don't like how you're being right now or whatever, or, but again, it's just learning all this as we go.
So if I was to, so when we were talking earlier before we left my place.
Yeah.
And I just kind of brought up something that I witnessed.
Yes.
Yes. The reason why I used it as in saying to me, rather than kind of turning it and say, well, hey, this is what I've noticed about you. I was just like,
I've noticed this about me before and just saw it.
I saw it
play out.
In you about myself on how I've behaved towards a certain person.
Yeah.
A friend of ours. And I just thought it was a good way to kind of just bring it.
Let me know.
Kind of content.
Yeah, I didn't feel attacked at all. That was great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
hard out.
Because I was like, fuck, I really looked at it and I was like, shit, I know.
I wanted to know what it was, but it's okay. I know what you mean because I know I can be like that. And then we spoke about how I can forget things and I can butt in, or I've got all these opinions on, I've asked you a question and then I'm going to throw everything at you and I'm not even going to let you fucking think for yourself or reply to me. I'm just like, butting my ass in.
Yeah.
Like, calm down. Give them a chance to reply to you, girl.
Yeah, and like I said, because it's like we know what we've got is also important. We want to be heard. Yeah. So I want to quickly jump in and just say what I need to say before things get lost.
And now their mind's all faffled and yeah.
Can you just ask me a fun question?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've had that said to me when someone was sharing something quite vulnerable to them, and I was kind of like, to me in my mind was like, I let her speak. And then I was like, oh, let me just share, because I find that when you share something that's in relation to you, there's a connection between us, right?
That's right.
So
that's right.
When I said that, the way that person took it was like, why do you have to make it about you? I was like, it wasn't about me. I was literally trying to connect with you because I get it.
But they're obviously hurt in a way that they've made it go, oh, you think everything's about you.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, hold on.
Sometimes you just need to just allow people have the floor to speak.
Yeah.
And just don't say anything. And just say, oh, I acknowledge it. I can see how you would feel that way. Rather than kind of bringing in your story to kind of like feel that.
But some people like the story thing though.
Some people
like,
do.
Yeah.
Some people do. But
it's a relation.
You've got to really read the situation.
And feel it out.
The moment.
The person.
Can I actually bring it in? Yeah. And if it's not, then you're like, cool, just
listen. Yeah.
What can I learn from this person?
Yeah.
And again, that takes a lot of fucking awareness. Awareness takes practice.
Yeah.
Because it's reflecting.
And that's why we keep doing the work, right? And
I like working on my shit.
yeah, I mean, like you say, when we both had actually massive weeks. You had a massive week before I did, didn't you? About something that you were posting up, and then I had fucking all that shit the week before. And you know, when things do happen,
Yep.
like I had a little bit of an awakening, I feel. Fuck, I couldn't wait to ring and tell you.
What?
Oh my God, Bubby! Bubby!
Was that to do with the...
That was the grief,
About your grandma?
yeah, holding the... What was it? Shame. I think
yeah.
the shame and the guilt or whatever behind...
You were holding shame and guilt because you left your nan at that time
Yeah.
because of a situation over there was kind of in a pressing moment to say, well, are you done?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it was like you made the decision to go. And what was why did you make that decision to go rather than staying where you really wanted to stay?
Well, I was worried about my babies.
Yeah.
They were young, so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what could potentially happen, them being left outside or whatever
Yeah.
the case was, without going into text or detail.
Gotcha.
And not blaming anyone, because obviously I think that was another thing. There was blame
To the other person.
to the other person.
Yeah.
Um,
Which you came to the conclusion for yourself.
I did. It was
That-
amazing. This is like 7
you
years
had-
old grief, guys. 7 years old grief.
Because you had a dream, Bob. You
Yeah.
had a premonition. Right?
What's
That's
the
how I
one
look
that's
at it.
hidden? The unconscious.
You're going into
Came
the
to that's-
going into the subconscious mind, where
That's
all
it.
your underlining beliefs and traumas lie, right?
Yep.
And so that dream just
Board it up.
Obviously, your subconscious is like, she's ready to actually have this insight come to her because
Yeah.
I know she's going to get it.
Yeah.
And you
And
truly
fuck,
did.
I got it.
You truly did. High five with that shit, sister.
Girl. Oh, this is a bit narrow and dodgy. Trying to balance it. Cuddy grass. Yeah, so that was truly profound, and
It's so amazing, Bo. It's so amazing.
and then the other buzzy part to it, but
Because the acknowledgement in that was just like, I knew. I found out that I was blaming somebody else
Yes.
for my own,
shit.
for the way I was feeling about the situation, that I did what I chose to do in that moment, my behaviour.
Yeah.
So I'm acknowledging now my part
In
in
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So blame is,
Takes a
it's
lot
also
to
not
fucking
very,
see that, yeah?
and it's not very healthy blame, because as you can see, for years and years and years, I've been sitting with resentment and to this person, when
Yeah.
I just needed to look at it and be like, I made that choice.
I mean, you can look at it as not healthy, Bub, but you can also look at it as that because you've done a lot of, like I say all the time, because you've done a lot of the groundwork.
Yeah.
It's helped you to able to unlock a lot of these emotions at your own pace.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about.
Like you say, it
Take your
knows when
time.
you're ready.
It
Yeah.
knows when you're ready. It's
Yeah.
like when you do root cause therapy, we're always going into the unconscious mind, right? Because we're talking to the unconscious mind because we're asking that part of you, can we have permission to take her into an event that's going to relate to what she's feeling in these belief
Yeah.
systems? And it would be like, yeah, cool, we are. If not, it'll say no. And it just knows that you're not quite ready yet. There
Yeah.
needs to be more kind of lessons and learning and understanding for you
To
to
get
come to
there.
that point, right?
And the fact that it came in a dream, because what do you believe dreams are? Well, not all dreams, but
I believe dreams have messages in there for you and they come out in so many different ways and can be so distorted sometimes. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's some really ones that are very profound.
like that one I had, it was
Yeah.
very straight to the point. I knew
very
what it
clear.
was. Yeah.
It's one dream to one point. It's not like there's a whole lot of dreams in your head.
No.
Because that means that the mind's very busy.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cluttered, right? And you're thinking about a lot of things, but this was something that I feel like your name was just like, yeah, no, she's ready.
Yeah.
Let's
Get rid of it.
I don't want my baby carry on with this kind of shame and guilt because I want her to forgive herself because I've already forgiven her.
Yeah.
Way, long time ago.
Right on the
Right?
bed.
Long time ago.
Which is
So when she's ready, I know, and I will we'll just give her a dream.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Subconscious.
It really was beautiful. Fuck, I was, just laughing with joy and happiness and really being open, releasing something that heavy just felt so amazing.
And that's what it is, though. That's
Yeah.
the nail on the head. It's because you're no longer carrying anything in your, it's one less rock in your backpack.
Hard out.
Yeah.
And that was a big rock because
Oh,
I used to
fucking
go
big
on
rock.
and on about it. Remember how much it used to come up, bub? So much. And just, I think, again, that's what, healing isn't being healed. It's consistently working on it to bring up whatever needs to come up. And, healing is like a massive realization like that, or, letting something go. That was probably a big rock in my backpack, holding resentment, blame, shame, guilt, all of the fucking heavy, what are they called?
Heavy emotions.
Yeah, the heavy,
right?
The big top ones.
Heavy emotions. It's the identity that you relate yourself to those emotions.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a horrible fucking granddaughter. I shouldn't have done that. This and that. You know what I mean? What's one story you were telling yourself about that?
Oh, I should have stayed. Yeah, I shouldn't have left.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there, but I didn't honour my truth. I didn't stay.
Yeah.
When I knew things would have been probably fine. Just, again, the ego is going, well, what about this? What if this happened?
But what did you think about yourself in that, like, when you kind of, like, what were you kind of like, oh, I'm a horrible person?
Oh, yes,
terrible.
left my nana. On her deathbed. Like, no. Horror,
So that's
how
the
could
identity
you? Terrible,
Yeah, feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
So those are the beliefs that you kind of cultivate.
Attached to it,
And
yes.
created attachment to that emotion.
And every time I would think about this or bring it up, it would be always about this other person and never about, like, just forgiving myself, really.
Yeah. I think I used to, at some conversations we would have, not necessarily around that kind of particular
Event.
experience, but I would say to you sometimes when I hear it in your language of blaming this person, I'll be just like, okay, what's your part in playing in this?
Yes,
Okay,
turning it round.
Where are you not looking at yourself? Because again, not everything is done by them.
No, it takes
what I mean?
two to party, two to tango, two to,
And there's a reason that you're not looking at it. You're again, I know you're avoiding it. Or you just haven't been able to take off the coloured frosted glass.
Or your body's not ready, because sometimes talking about these things, same thing can happen over and over and over again. But it's like, okay, well, you're obviously not ready. I'll mention it again, but okay. And it takes patience, again, as a healer or a friend or a family member, to allow that space and that person to blab on sometimes about the same shit, different event, but same sort of pattern that's coming up, and having that person that can recognize that in you is truly a gift. Because if you don't have some true person that can turn around and be like, but I think you need to look at you in a nice way, because of course truth hurts, right? So
Well, truth hurt, it's definitely.
But it's not owning the truth. That's why you're like, you're so fucking mean. How could you say that about me? When really you're like, is that true? It's really being true with yourself. And even if it is something that you did wrong or that you didn't like, it's like, okay, cool, I did that. I've learned from that. I won't do that again. Or maybe I should learn from that and not, do something similar like that. I was going to use an example, but I won't use that example. Oh, I could use that example, actually.
We're not putting names out there.
No, what we spoke about on the way here was, like some people are just generally, they do things for people out of the goodwill of their heart, right? And then some people do it because they go, if I do this for this person, then maybe I'll get something back, or, whatever. But generally, most of the time, people do things out of the goodness of their heart. But there are the odd few times where I've even looked at myself and gone, like still willingly doing it, but there's an intention behind it, like, well, maybe
I
later
do
on
this.
if I, do that.
I will get this in return.
Yeah, or maybe they'll do that for me, not sort of intentionally, but there's still like a,
You're operating unconsciously.
yes,
Right?
yes. But being aware of that is really like, again, it comes down to the little things, Bevan,
because
like the coffee. Buy you a coffee. Oh, yeah, she'll buy me a coffee another time. That's just a small example. And not being just grateful in that moment for that coffee. And who cares about whether it comes back or not? Now, that's an example. It isn't a true one, but
I think that also comes down to being able to, I'm giving love without a condition.
Yeah.
Right. And when I give love with condition, there's nothing I need in return from you, because I am love and I'm giving it to you.
Yeah.
And it's unconditional.
Yeah.
But when you're giving something and you're wanting and receiving something
It's not love.
same, that's not unconditional. That's with a condition.
Yeah.
I will do this for you. But I'm in my head thinking, I know next time when we go out, you're going to buy the coffee.
Yeah.
And I'll stand here and wait for you to buy that coffee.
yeah,
I'm like,
no.
excuse me?
And
No.
in saying that, it probably won't come back to you because you've had this intention behind it. Whereas if you're just doing things out of what it does, it comes back, and it could come back in many other ways.
Okay.
Many other ways.
Yeah. And if you're doing something... where was I going to?
Trying to be close to you. Hang on.
I'm just trying to think of what I was going to say before. Okay, it's fine. That's all right.
Just trying to not trip over here. So this is the kind of chats we have in our bushwalk. I'm not sure whether Nairi knows I'm recording, but of course. Sometimes I can talk better, not being at the forefront. And this is just what we do. Look at this fucking beautiful.
Oh, I wanted to just touch on...
Anyway, coming back to...
Let's give it a moment.
I know. It's so quiet.
I wanted to just touch on the was it a podcast that we listened to in regards to the not anxiety? It was about anxiety.
Yeah.
And those 4 steps that guy kind of expressed.
Oh, yes.
And it's the one that a friend of ours, well, yeah, that mentioned it and said, oh, this is quite a good one. It was a good one.
Oh, yes. Can you remember the steps? Oh,
So
that was a Mel...
Robbins.
Yeah.
And the 4 steps is...
Do you want to hold this and I'll walk in front of you? I just want to make sure they can hear you. Because I don't... Yeah.
One... What was the first step? So I did put it in my my Holy Bible book. I actually wrote them down, just so I could remember them. One is, we think about it, Bub, if we kind of...
I can't quite remember it.
Identify?
Isn't it in that rain?
No. So it's identify. So he talks about his ones and how, because he wrote the book about living with anxiety and it's embracing it in a sense. So I think one is you identify the anxiousness. What's the root cause of it, right? You want to kind of delve into that. 2 was, I think, embrace it. 3 is do something that is in relation to it. That's you're afraid of, but you kind of feel the fear and do it anyway, right? And then number 5 is just letting it go, because at the end of the day, I can only control what I can control. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think those are the 4. Identify the root cause. What is the actual reason of you feeling this anxiousness? Then you want to, what did I say? Identify.
Help me out, Bob.
Identify,
So knowing where it's come from.
acknowledge or feel it in the body.
Embrace it. Oh, so once you find out the root cause, then embrace it, you know what I mean? Embrace it of, what it truly is. And then 3 was you do something that's following through of facing that fear. Like for instance, flying. You're not going to stop flying because you love to fly and because you want to see your family. I'm fearful of flying because of that. And they brought that up as an example of when you have that turbulence. Even Mel brought it up, and she was like, it was really bad turbulence to the point where it's a traumatic experience. Now that fear of that is the trauma of me, what I'm felt is left in my body. So every time I go on a plane or I know I'm going to fly, I get so intensified and anxious, right? But what I still do is I still go and do it anyway, and I work through it because I know where it's come from, but I'm not allowing it to define and stop me from living my life. It's not debilitating, right? And then once you've done that, then you pretty much are just surrendering and letting it, like you just let it go, right?
Like, I'm here, it's fine, I'm safe. You use your tools to get through the actual doing of it, and then you come out the other side and you've done it.
Yeah.
And then it just gets easier and easier. So it has for you, hasn't it? It's gotten easier and easier?
Yeah, it has. Again, yeah, definitely has. Like, I found ways to work through it. Again, it is your
ego trying to keep you safe.
Yeah, it's the mind if you're living in that fear, and it's the mind and the ego. It's just like, you don't want to fly. What do you want to fly for? Just stay here. Just stay here at home, where you're not going to feel that turbulence again. You don't have to fly. It's okay. Just live in fear for the rest of your life, okay? Because that's that primal instincts, right? We have that instinct of wanting to survive in the world, so the brain will do whatever it takes to keep you safe and survive in this world. So
it's our example of wanting to go on holiday, but wanting to go somewhere close and not being on a plane for a longer time. But we're then stopping us from going somewhere where we want to go. So we've worked through the motion to do it. Yeah, we still may have some nerves on it, but I'm sure we'll be able to work through that. And I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Yeah, the nerves aren't as in high intensity for you as much. They're there, but what I've got now is I've got these tools and a regulation within myself to calm my nervous system, okay, and speak to myself, which is a big one for me, as I do a lot of self-talk. Okay, and I find that you are your
talking, the mind will
identifying the ego. You're not trying to push the ego away because it's always going to be there, but it's just becoming a bit more friendly with it. Rather than being against it, work with it. I'm going to work with you on this. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm so grateful and acknowledge that, and move forward from it. Thank you for keeping me safe, but we're going to be all good, and we're going to keep going on. What I'm going to take with me on this plane is I've got headphones, I've got a book, and I know some people will think that's a distraction, but I still work through if I have anything arise to me in the moment.
Got our best buddy on this. You're good.
Well, there was one time when I came home, Bub, from a trip from seeing Kyle in Aussie, and there was some turbulence, but that was after that episode. And then I had this, this is another time. I had, a gentleman, 2 guys sitting next to me who were returning home with their mother, and they brought her ashes. Lovely guys, and I managed, and they were from home here, but lived in Australia most of their life. And the brother that was sitting next to me when we were coming in was a bit rocky, and I was breathing, and he could sense and see that I was uncomfortable and having a struggle. And he was like, would you like to hold my hand? I was like, yes, please. A random person, which I felt so much comfortable about. I didn't feel embarrassed. I didn't feel ashamed, but I held his hand and he comforted me and soothed, supported me, I should say. And I was so grateful. I was so... Can I be of support to you in this moment? And I was like, yes, please. I love that. And I was happy just to hold his hand, so don't get any ideas. We're not going home together, so. But I was. Fun with it, eh? The ego comes in and goes, ha. And I was just like, thank you so much for that, mate. Appreciate you. And I never saw them again. But again, those are memories that I will hold on very dearly of those moments where, a total stranger can also be of support to you, as well as a, very close best friend, a family member. And if you do have those people around you, that can really hold space, is reach out to them, even if it is somebody that you, I don't know, maybe follow on Instagram, that you don't see often, but you do have a connection. Is reach out. I just need someone to just listen and while I have a chat. Yeah, sweet as. I'm always down for that. I have a beautiful girl at work. Oh yeah. We're still quite high, guys. I had a come to be befriend with this girl at the gym, young girl, and she just started coming to the gym. Oh, is there a tsunami coming? I think we'll be all right up here. Hey, winding! Sorry about it, fellas. Hey, I know how to start a fire. We're all good. Only if the bro was here, we'd be able to know what we can eat inside this bush. And so anyway, every time I see her, I just give her a hug and how you doing and stuff like that. And anyway, there was one incident where I just kind of noticed people can say, you can think, maybe I'm being a bit nosy or, being a bit of an ihu. But I was like, or you can just say, I give a shit. Yeah. So she was talking to somebody, but I thought she was watching a video or a movie on her phone while she's on the treadmill. And I was like, are you watching me? She's like, oh no, I'm talking to my partner. I was like, oh, okay, hello partner. And it's not somebody from here, it's someone from a very far country. And I just thought, I'm just going to ask a couple of questions. I said you don't have to answer them if you don't feel like you need to kind of share anything. She's like, no. So I delved in a little bit, and I kind of was just getting these kind of alarm bells just going off at me, mate. Oh, really? And I was just like, okay, now, Nairi, we're not here to kind of tell anybody what to do with their life, right? Mm-hmm. But if I was to just give some, could sleep in there, bub. Just saw a little burrow. I don't know what you call it, but anyway, right there, guys. I just thought, look, I don't want to ignore this. I just sat with it for a little bit, and I just thought, look, I'm just going to give you some words of wisdom. Take it or leave it. And we just started chatting about it, and I was just like, at the end of the day, just be very wary of people overseas talking to you. You're in a relationship, you never have actually met them. And I'm asking questions about money and stuff like that. But anyway, I just wanted her to know a few things about love and where it actually lies.
Is she a bit younger?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, yeah.
Love lies within you.
Yeah.
Doesn't lie with outside of you.
Yeah.
Just remember looking for somebody in this kind of,
or a stranger a million miles away on the other side of
online, kind of relationship is just like, I don't know about that, but hey, if you're happy within it and it's all good and you're feeling, I said, whatever you do, I said, do you ever get like moments in your kind of like you get that gut intuition feeling.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, I do. And I said, okay, I want you to really listen to that because it's always 99.9999. Let's just say I'm 100% right. So I said, just very, be open to that and feel into that, and then ask yourself, why is this coming up? Okay. And I said, and I ended up giving her my number, and I said, anytime you want to chat, you want to talk about anything. I said, obviously not 2 o'clock in the morning, sis, but she's like, no, I wouldn't do that. And I said, just anytime you want to talk about anything. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Even those 2 little tips that you gave, could just be something so amazing to help someone,
Oh, I was kind of rolling out all the fucking, what do you call them, quotes and shit like that, and she's like, oh, my dad used to say that, and I said, well, hey, maybe, there's some, it's good advice, I would say. My father said that to me, amen. So I said, look, whatever you do, just take care of yourself.
Do you first, do.
Yeah, work on you, love you, Oh, look at that. Wow. We still going for a swim?
Kinda said it. Wow, yeah, we can. Right, we got a warm shower at home.
Oh, choice.
This is the other side, eh? That's definitely, it's got to be slipper. Because way around there is pucker and we can't see that side on. So still,
Is that the right time? Is that our time? Give up.
We're still quite high.
It's only half an hour.
39 minutes, darling.
Well, 40 minutes. I feel like I've been talking for like hours. Over there, guys, if you're ever down here in Pauini, that is
Slipper Island.
Slipper Island. I was going to say slippery nipple, but it's not. Slippery Island.
Slippery Island. Slipper.
Oh, slipper, as in the slippers you wear on your feet. Slipper, okay? Apparently you can boat from here and go over there.
We haven't been there yet, but that's definitely on the bucket list. Look at this. It's like pink, blue. Oh. We're going to try get down before dark too.
We'll be right. Carry on, girl.
Go cruising.
Yeah.
We're going to keep that rolling.
Oh, are we keeping this rolling, or what else are we...
Say goodbye for now.
I think, I think we can
Oh, we should go that way because there's a
hide it off for now.
rock there. All right, well.
Last passing words, bub, after this beautiful conversation that we've had. That's covered a whole lot of stuff.
Because we're away, it's going to be a bit random, but we can put up the podcast, the Mel Robbins one. Hey, bud?
Oh, yeah, like that's a really cool podcast to talk about. I think a lot of us do experience anxiety and be anxious about something, and it's just got some really good tools from this doctor who wrote a book about it. So
maybe we'll put this chat up with that podcast.
Yeah, it's just a really good... they're helpful. Like, they've got some really cool tips in there, you know what I mean? So why not? It kind of made me look at a few things within myself and realise where I get a little bit anxious about some things. But the one thing I wanted... Oh, yeah, Bubby, is there anything you wanted to...
No, I'm just trying not to slip down the hill.
Yeah, same. It's pretty fucking steep. So let's just get down to the bottom of this platform of this without kind of rolling polling down the road.
Because we did think we were just going to, obviously on holiday, just chat. So we thought some podcasts don't always have actual videos of us up.
No.
We thought sometimes we just chat and we just start rolling the camera, so it's not always going to be our beautiful faces, but
yes, that's right.
Sometimes
it's you'll just get
and what you're listening to.
Yeah.
It has all the knowledge in it.
And why not come on this journey of down this forest track in the bush of nature where we find pure. Well, we just get a lot of fucking clarity and really groundiness in this.
Revive in here.
Yeah, this is part of our repair. It's yeah. R&R is when the old saying used to go. What I thought myself, what does R&R mean?
If we go into the beach.
yeah.
We'll see.
Thing that I was kind of like working on as a little quote in a sense, or something just to really think about. and it was, I haven't quite finished it, but I'll give you a little bit of something of it. And I was thinking myself, if I was to get you to consider your mind is like an art gallery, and the reality you see around you is painted by the thoughts in your mind. So whatever you want your reality to be, you can paint that canvas to be whatever you want. You know what I mean? And you're displaying the artwork in your mind. So think of your mind as a clear canvas, and choose your thoughts mindfully, thoughtfully. But I think that's the analogy of your mind being an art gallery. You know, if you think of an art gallery, you go in to look at beautiful artwork that people have painted from their own interpretations, and then it comes out in the perception of how they see things in the world and what art is to them and beauty. It's the same thing for you in your mind. So if you were to look at that and just consider it, I think that's a beautiful thing, to be honest. My mind is an art gallery, and I can paint whatever I want with my thoughts. Yeah, but just remember, you're in control of that, nobody else is. So anyway, those are my passing words. Wow.
Yeah, I got no more. Peace.
Yeah, oh look, the moon's up there. Gee. Peace, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful long weekend. Be safe wherever you are. Travel safe on the roads if you are, and be kind to yourself. Be kind to others, and just remember, you are a beautiful soul, waiting to be discovered and remembered. Yes.
By you.
By yourself. Okay. Anyway, this is
Collective consciousness.
This is collective consciousness. Over and out. Peace.